Warm greetings. Good evening, good afternoon, and maybe good morning for some. A warm welcome to this retreat. So, I'd like to interact as always. Feel free to come into camera on this subject. We actually had a retreat this morning, which was also called Foundation, and here we are talking about it again. But this time, this foundation of exactly what it is, we were all clear, but it somehow feels good to revisit and refine. And Confucius put it nicely. He said, "A man who does not plan long ahead will find trouble at his door," which we need to reflect on what it means for us. And another aspect, I know we are joined by Italian group. This is the famous Rome was not built in a day, but they were laying bricks every hour. And that was John Haywood. And a lot of wisdom about foundation. We will hear many things. Just want to say Spanish and Portuguese translation is coming soon. So yeah, very welcome, and would like to hand over to Prashant, and good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. New timings for a lot of us, and always nice at different times and different adjustments. We'll start with a few minutes of just simple attention. And in this very first minute, we are coming to the supreme home, and we are experimenting with 100% concentration. Let me explain what we are aiming to do in this minute. Our mind and attention has so much possibilities. We can go where we choose. So if we are going to the supreme home, as if something within our one of the faculty, it reaches there. So we are seeing the light and the color of that sky. We see it in gentle red color. And the aim here is to stay in that experience continuously. Let us do it starting from now for 1 minute. Even as we hear the sound, we do not let go of that experience. A region of light and color. Thank you. It was little more than 1 minute, but if you if you take this seriously and achieve it, you will notice a shift straight away. And definitely we all, with spiritual, those who are spiritual students, we need to be experts in this. And just getting the concentration and ability to focus, that itself is one of the necessary aspect of the foundation. What happens is there are these many heads of Ravan, and all these heads want to think of different things. So mind is totally busy with all these 10 heads of Ravan. And within that, so many cyclical thoughts and random thoughts. And since Ravan is using them, there will bound to be some element of heaviness, maybe some outright negative thoughts, unhappy thoughts, thoughts of worry. We gravitate towards that more. You give this 1 minute, very clear destination. Can be something very simple. It is not even supreme home. Can be thinking of a tree even. That's why meditation practices of any kind have results, because they stop the cyclical thoughts during that time. And they remain less for the next 20 minutes. That's why your brain-mind apparatus will be more efficient. Just 1 minute practice, you will find there is benefit there. So anytime in any of our study, it can be even reading or meditation practice, first minute, if you introduce this, you'll be more efficient. So also with your students, if you create this for them, first minute, they will take more benefit during the rest of the hour. To introduce this, some simple method. For the next few minutes, we are going to have 4 steps practice. And I'll explain why. What are these 4 steps? Step 0 is we check our posture and see that everything is right and there is no some background noise, or try to see if the telephone needs to be kept silent. I am making it silent myself right now. So this is step 0. We avoid multitasking, especially during the meditation time. Definitely avoid multitasking if possible. We don't even need to take notes. Step 1, we are just seeing a guest. It's almost like you are seeing a tourist in your town. That's all. You are seeing a guest. That is step 1. Step 2, that guest is seeing you. Now, this guest is a guest on this planet, is the invisible traveler. So in other words, the soul, we are not using the word my soul, I the soul. No, we are just seeing the invisible traveler visiting this world. That is step one. Anyone can do this. Just this invisible traveler, we see him in the image of a tiny, tiny point. But he has a personality, he is immortal, he is from a different world, he is here. He is from God's family and he is visiting this world. That is step one. Step two, that invisible traveler is seeing this world. Now the perspective changes, the consciousness shifts, the notion of the I, that changes. But we avoid the letter I all along. Invisible traveler is seeing. How is he seeing it? We try to grasp it. Step three, he is a traveler, but he also knows he is the invisible actor here. And being the actor, he is watching this theater all around him. Like a Truman Show. Truman Show is with someone is in a film and it is being filmed. And he realizes it is a film that is going on. It is getting filmed. He thought it was all real. So this is the Truman Show. There is a drama going on all around him. That is step three. Step four, he comes beyond this drama, comes back to his world. There are four steps. So step one, we are seeing this invisible traveler is a guest, is like a tourist visiting this planet. We see him in the image of a tiny, tiny point. It is very fascinating, very different, vichitra, very unusual. He is immortal also. We are very curious to see this traveler visiting this world. We are seeing him with the eye of the mind. Step two, this invisible traveler is seeing this world. For him, the colors and images, they are all new experience. Big miracle. That's what he is watching. Almost like a astronaut visiting this fascinating planet. And for him, sound and stones and creatures, different any creature, human beings, everything is fascinating. He's here for a short time, he knows this. He's very aware of his exit, very aware of his world beyond. He's just visiting this world. Since the exit is very, very clear to him, guaranteed, he has no intention to get stuck here. He doesn't want to be left over here or lost. He would see it as being lost. He wants to return back. And he has no intention to own anything here or create any attachments here. It is just a futile. And when he has got guaranteed exit, he knows he loses nothing because he owns nothing. Just every moment he sees it as a great experience, great gift. Invisible traveler watching this world. Step 3, he is the traveler, he is the guest, but he also knows he is the actor. And that he is involved with this great performance here. He is involved with the story. Whilst he is the actor, he is also the audience. He is also observing this performance, observing the story. Observing story as a story. If he is confused, he will not see it as a story. But now he can very clearly see it is a theater. And he is just visiting there as an actor. Invisible traveler is the invisible actor. Since he is dealing with the story, he notices that there is no complaints about anything, about anyone, no complaints. There's nothing to worry about, nothing to cry for, nothing to claim for. There's nothing to question, nothing to compare. Every moment is just a gift. He is amused by the whole action and the performance and great creativity there. Invisible traveler dealing with this story. No one creates ego when we are dealing with a story. Someone may be acting as a king, but he never creates an ego that he is a king. There is no factor of confusion. He remains very sensible about who he is and amused by the story. That independence, detachment is very, very natural. Happy. He remains happy with dragons and villains and beginning of the episode, end of the episode. He is amused, enjoys. invisible traveler experiences the viceless state. Just by knowing that that is a story that helps him to experience state that is viceless. This moment. Step 4, the invisible traveler comes beyond the story. Story is just the actor. The actor does not stay in the story forever. And beyond the story is the world of silence. There is no noise of the story. Beyond the story is the real world. He sees this world in the image of a sky. Timeless. Timeless, changeless, endless. Secure world belongs here. Very happy to know his foundation, his base. He belongs here. And because he has got a strong base, eternal place where he belongs, he is quite prepared to go through the experience, adventure, experience the drama. He knows of his secure world, secure home. Thank you. One question for you. So we saw 5 steps, step 0 to step 4, 5 steps. Which step you feel is the most important one for you? It may be different to all of us, but for you, which one was the most important, significant for you, relevant?
Someone's saying the part about being a guest or the home, and the third, to be distant from the drama, that space.
Yeah, sure. Few things for us to know in this context. Our one aspect of the foundation is being soul conscious. That's why we hear in the Murli, soul consciousness is repeated sometimes 20 times in one Murli. These Murlis are read by those who are 50 years, 60 years in knowledge, and they are hearing 20 times in a Murli, become soul conscious. Now, it is important, that's why it is repeated. Now, what is soul consciousness? And you might even get many, many different answers in this. What is soul consciousness? Now, some simple things for us to know. In bhakti, there are words like Atmachintan, just thinking of the soul. That is seen as a very good practice. You should do Atmachintan, thinking of the soul. Atmagyan, to have knowledge of the soul, is a big thing. Someone has knowledge, they are called Atmagyani. Atmadarshan, you are seeing the soul, just trying to see the soul with your third eye, or some might get vision of the soul. Atmavarnan, even talking about the soul is a good thing. So these are different practices, and it is seen as very, very good. There are some songs, I want to spend my time thinking of the soul, this kind of thing. And they are very good bhagats. What is your practice? What are you doing? Atma Gyani or Atma Chintan? Anyone is doing Atma Chintan? All of this is good. I'm not saying it is bad. It is like we are churning knowledge and all. But what is soul consciousness? What exactly you would aim to do?
Feeling something.
Mm-hmm.
Atma and body. Seeing the soul. Okay. Self-realization. Yeah, others are agreeing. To remove the consciousness of the body. Experiencing being the soul. All of the above, you see. To make ourselves pure and connect with the true identity, the being, occasion seeing.
One word Baba uses is smriti, smriti of the soul. And what you answered, it sounds right, but let us understand the smriti. Smriti is your awareness of who you are. So who you are. It is the soul who is conscious. That tiny point is I. And that is all of I. It is not Prashant is also in a soul. No, Prashant is Prashant. It is under the story. It is in the drama. One part. A soul existed before drama started, and he exists as a invisible, invisible actor, independent, completely separate. And that tiny point is I. If this awareness is there, unmixed with anything else, then it is smriti of the soul. Baba calls it smriti swarup, embodiment of that. That you have got it right. That tiny point that is from the supreme home that is visiting here. Is the actor also fine, but is nothing to be mixed with anything else. He may play different parts, but he remains that invisible, tiny point. If this is your experience, then it is soul consciousness. Emphasis is not mixing. It is not Prashant and that point is all mixed together and that is soul consciousness. No, that is. All these other practices, there is ego within it. They are ego-based practices. Thinking of the soul, ego can do this. Atmagyani, it is all this is called what we call body consciousness. And that it is all tied with the role and story. It is When we say body consciousness, it is all this. That is what is happening. So what our big success will come in our meditation practices if this foundation is put right properly. Our Brahmin journey, even remembrance of God, that is yoga, we are having lots of practices, love for God, the songs are so many. All of that have power if the first step is right, that is soul consciousness. Baba says also, first consider yourself a soul and then remember the Father. This is important clause. Bhakti, they just say remember God. But Baba says, no, first consider yourself a soul. Only the soul can become soul conscious. To know this also. It is not Harry is going to become soul conscious. And Harry is going around with semi-closed eyes and he's soul conscious. No, he can think of the soul. That is one practice. But becoming soul conscious, soul has to become conscious. And then he understands he is from that sky. Now let us come to what we did during these 4 steps. So what was done in these 4 steps? We got this physical world. And in this grand physical world, there is Harry here. Harry, the part. And we also have Mr. Soul. This is the drama that goes on. So there is one side, there is a Harry and there is a soul. Soul is the actor, very much associated with Harry. And in this heavy confusion, he starts thinking he is Mr. Harry. And that is what the ego comes in. They go around, I'm this Harry. That is what we call body consciousness. It is stubborn. This body consciousness is very stubborn. So he will not just easily go, So he sort of says, okay, I'll practice soul consciousness. He listens to Murli, but he says, okay, Harry is concentrating in the center of the forehead. I am the soul. Harry is the soul. That is all mixed up. So what we did in these 4 steps, first, let us see what we did. Let us see the soul independently, clean. We totally accept in step 1, we accept that our starting position is ego, starting position is Harry, no problem. It will not just change. So step 1, we are there, Harry is there, ego is there. We are just seeing the soul clearly. And we are seeing him as one who has come in this world as a tourist. He is just visiting this world as a tourist. He is from a different world. So we are aware this is the soul, but most important is he is coming here as a traveler, as a guest. In that image we are seeing him. We will succeed in seeing this soul without any attachments, then it is a success. Soul consciousness has benefits because there are no attachments. If we just say soul, soul, but all mixed up, attachments are also there, then there is no benefit. So we are just seeing in step 1, soul visiting this world. In step 2, we are shifting the consciousness to the soul. We are now, Smriti has shifted. Smriti was around Harry. That is what was I was around Harry. During this step 2, we are moving it to the soul. So soul is seeing this world. Perspective is from the soul. And he is the traveler. And he is very aware of his exit. He is aware of his world beyond. And all of this prevents him from creating attachments. All of this prevents him from going in this spiral, downward spiral. This exit is very important because he understands there is an imminent exit. You don't create attachment. You go to some place and in 5 minutes you have to go. You are not thinking, I want to buy land here and I want to. You are just in transit to some country. You may not even visit it again. So your attitude becomes very naturally of detachment. So this in step 2, he is seeing this is a foreign world. That's why a traveler, a guest, a tourist, and he has an exit. And when there is zero attachment, he is able to appreciate it without Ravan factor. He finds every moment is a gift. Everything is nice. It is soul conscious state is a happy state. He can experience that happiness because Ravan is stopped. If he is not going in a downward spiral, there is no Ravan. Step 3, he says, this is a film, and this is a theater, this is a story. What happens in that? He understands the different reality. Story means a different reality. You can't mix anything with a story. So this detachment becomes complete. You don't just accept, 100% accept any story. You don't feel they should be doing something different. No, it's a story. Children also can accept fully. Our game is detachment. We have to come out of this web. And this step 3 is helping us in a big way in this. See the whole thing as a story, and this Mr. Harry is also part of the story. And this invisible traveler is watching this with the 100% detachment. That's why it is a viceless state. And step 4, he comes back to his home, free to discover his world. No strings down below, no ego, nothing to pull him back. He knows he's from that sky. If it is ego tied there, ego feels, oh, home is nice, but I want to come back. This is my world. This story is my world. So it is 4 steps, helping us grasp the soul awareness, smriti of the soul properly. Now I want to ask one more question in connection with foundation. Another question is, one word, so far we have spoken, what's the one word which is very strategic? It is not written in this sketch, but it is indicated also in this sketch. There is one word that is very strategic for our foundation of spiritual life, foundation of a student. You want to write that word, you want to tell that word. Just one word. If that word is, we pay attention, your foundation is very strong. If that word is ignored, the foundation remains weak. This applies to those from all traditions, religions and all. They all can very easily accept this word, and it will be good for them. In interfaith also, but for ourselves.
Okay, so lots of thoughts. Remembrance, smriti, intellect, awareness, paras, guest, belonging, actor, story, connection, self, soul, freedom, detached, exits, nishchay, and truth. And another word I need to translate. Yeah. Peace. Yeah.
I heard the word exit. The word exit is very strategic. All words are nice, I appreciate, and we have to underline all those things. But the word exit, the whole chaos that is happening in the world is because we can't grasp this exit. If we see in a development of a child at the age of 3 years, tomorrow is not real for the child. In fact, even up to the age of 6, tomorrow is not real. In other words, they will not be, at say 3 years, 4 years, a child will not plan something for tomorrow. They might even use the word tomorrow, but when they use that word tomorrow, they means just few seconds later or few minutes later. Their time they can handle few minutes later. That is the maximum, but not tomorrow. But by the age of 6 years, they can see tomorrow. So they plan. If they are going somewhere, they say, I want to take this raincoat because I will need it tomorrow when I'm coming back. They plan properly. Tomorrow is real for them. But for an earlier age, it is not. Development happens gradually. So as we grow further, next year is real to us, and all this development happens. But one thing, even as adults, for us, our own death is very vague. That we are going to die and we are going to leave this is not real for us. It is kept in some kind of a confusion. And when it is not clear subconsciously, we interpret it as there is no exit, there is no end. We interpret we are here forever. This is the subconscious interpretation. What is the proof that we think that way? We are here forever. What is the proof? Anyone want to tell? Is it just a nice, some imagination or belief, or is there any proof? A big statement about the human world. They believe that we are here forever.
Everything goes into retirement planning and not beyond that. I mean,
Proof is that we are creating attachments. That is a proof.
yeah.
He said if you are in some place just for 5 minutes, you are not going to, create attachments there. Because you are going, you say, why am I wasting time planning to buy something there? I say if you are in some place and you can buy coffee, but there is no time to drink, will you buy coffee in place and happy that you spent money and go? That it is like same here. You will not be spending, at anything if there is a guaranteed exit. So here, the very fact that we create attachments, it means we believe we are going to be there, for some time, but subconsciously forever. That is our understanding. And we are so confused, even with serious patients who they are in the terminal ward, so they know they may die any moment. The doctors have told them, and it is very clear to them also. They are in the ward. They still are planning to earn more money, and you see absurd behavior. We have got this such a block that exit message of the exit doesn't sink in. We create some confusion there, just like children, and and that is one reason why we create such a chaos of our life. We get trapped in this web in a ridiculous way, start that downward spiral and creating ego and vices and all this, then expansion happens. We believe that is our world. So, just introducing this message that there is a guaranteed exit, even for 1 minute. Most people can't even handle it for too long, maybe. But if you tell your students for 1 minute, just see this traveler has an exit and he has got his world beyond, but this is not his world. Let him see this for 1 minute. He gets used to this idea. He gets acclimatized. There is an exit. Okay, it's the traveler, it is not me. Ego doesn't like this word, exit. Ego is, you know, ego is happy with that ignorance. He doesn't want to know too much truth, because if he knows truth, ego will dissolve, ego will die. So he doesn't want to go there. But we have to introduce this word that has the necessary foundation, because then you dismantle, it becomes a foundation to dismantle attachments. As you dismantle the attachments, you continue to reconnect to your world, alaukic world. You want to add anything? Say anything?
So in this context, possibly, a question is asked, how to remain detached. So we agree with that completely, but also sensitive to help others too, because we either can become aloof or too sensitive and then become attached.
I'm sure. We have discussed in the past, more you are detached, more secure you find. That is the whole game, because this is a temporary world. More you create attachments, you become more insecure. And then we have discussed this. So even if you are detached 1%, you find you are more secure. And more secure you are, you become more loving. Love is directly connected to how secure you are. More you are insecure, you become helplessly selfish. It appears you are sort of not aloof and you are sort of talking about love, 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 but it is all mixed, heavily mixed with your self-centeredness. You are you will be loving where you get something to receive, this kind of thing. More secure you are, you become noble. Your personality becomes, less selfish. You internally are content, internal that fullness. Security presents with feeling of fullness. And so your godlike personality, God is fully detached, but he's not aloof. Most powerful factor in this, personality of God is that he sees in clarity. That is the strength. He is loving, but love backed by wisdom, and the benefit is a big benefit. If there is a body consciousness in that other state, there is confusion, heavy confusion. He himself is trapped, so how can he help anyone else? He is himself fooled, deceived, so he cannot be useful, truly useful to others. That's why we want, to become properly soul conscious in the whole of this good foundation. To the extent you understand this, experience it, you understand what God experiences. You understand personality of God, why God is what is his love and what is his mercy and what wisdom he knows, why he's so committed, why he's so enthusiastic, what is he trying to achieve. You understand that personality and that whole task of God. Any other?
Yeah, I mean, someone is commenting that they feel sometimes those who are practicing these ideas can appear aloof. And it's not been my experience, but I think the feeling is there's depth and when there's not a rush to make everyone feel comfortable at a limited level always, but everyone is different. But those who have experience with workplace, for example, say that they feel that others value them because what they say is has authenticity. They're not trying to please others, but there's depth, and it exhibits in different ways. Someone is asking about love, saying that surely that needs to be talked about more, as love has huge power to transform the awareness and the vision, and that you touched on this just now. And does that not create dispassion in the story from that way round, because it's inclusive, it's universal and transforming? So that's a kind of comment stroke question about love, if you want to add anything.
Yeah. Love will follow. In the present situation, when there is such confusion, love at that time is, everything is, foundation itself is wrong. Ego is there, and ego, it becomes like a Ravan love. Lots of songs, but no one knows whom they are loving. They don't know themselves who they are. It is a confusion and doesn't lead to big benefit. We first have to put ourselves right and bring that sense in ourselves. And then the love is very natural for every soul, even animals. Love is very natural, and we don't need to say love, but just to remove the alloy, and then what is natural will shine.
Very helpful. Yeah, definitely that four-letter word is quite confusing in the Iron Age. There's a question here. It had to go through translation. I'm not sure if you can grasp it, but when the star comes as a guest or a tourist, they don't know what they're going to encounter or what they have to do. Is that correct?
Yeah, just like any tourist, when there is no attachment or some some fixed idea, he enjoys. And there is a mountain, it is a green mountain, it is a blue mountain, he enjoys. He takes photographs. There are some different colors and different sky. Everything appears very unique and very special, as long as he's safe. This is all that anyone wants, that he's safe, absolutely. And then everything becomes a positive experience. And this is what happens here. This traveler, invisible traveler, one thing he is sure, he is immortal. He is beyond harm. He has a secure home. Everything of his is safe. His family is safe. His father in a relationship, everything is 100% safe. More secure he is, his appreciation, enjoyment of this holiday is greater. He is not coming here as a beggar. He is not coming here as a victim. He's not taking anything. He doesn't want anything. His full starting position is fullness. But right attitude as a traveler. If we are not fully connected to this, then this beggar comes in, and all these other personalities come in. And then he is not a proper traveler. His first chance he will create some attachments.
Great, thank you. Very nice. That foundation is actually creating an atmosphere of stability. That's the feeling. So no other questions right now?
Yeah. We have mentioned a few times in the past how the foundation of our noble personality, deity personality, is feeling secure. This is the foundation. And every meditation, we need to remind, any meditation has value if it connects us to our eternal security. So that sometimes the mindfulness, these different practices, you have to check, does it lead to our eternal security? Otherwise, it is just superficial. Our practice also, when you are doing it, connect it, that you are secure. It reminds you of your eternal security, whether you are experiencing home or father, or remind, connect it, let it go deeper. This becomes the foundation of our noble personality, divine personality. All the weaknesses come, 100% of the weaknesses in the world come because of emptiness. We can't remove these weaknesses unless this is addressed. Empty, something is vacuumed inside them, and there is emptiness. So It takes the form of greed sometimes. It takes the form of addiction, anything. And when a person feels insecure, insecurity presents as emptiness. It feels empty. One presentation is empty. It doesn't come, I'm insecure, but he feels like one example, someone who is 40 years of age. He said at the age of 18, I wanted this, 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 this. And he said, now I'm 40, I got all this. What I wanted, I got it all. But I feel empty. So why does he feel empty? The reason is needed more attachments down the spiral. And when you have created more attachments, what will happen? There are more insecurities now. You can lose so much, and that emptiness comes. So you will get this kind of cases a lot, but then this emptiness becomes the reason for lots of our weaknesses. In fact, I can say 100% of our weaknesses are connected with this insecurity, emptiness, this kind of area. And this has to be addressed first. Feeling secure. People in the world know security is very important. They know this. That's why they want more gold. That's why they want more money, some bigger job. What's the difference between what they are doing and what you are doing? We are here also, we are talking about secure. Someone wants to get married to someone so that bottom line, she will say, I want to feel secure. Someone wants more gold, she says, I will be secure. What's the difference between that and what you are talking here?
It's written, the more that you have in the box, the bigger the ego. And here we don't have enough planets to support all the need or greed. The difference is the foundation.
Yes. Yeah, what happens? This box comes with a label unpredictable. And so it is an insecure box. The more you invest to create security in that box, more insecure you feel. This is the trap that everyone is in. That box itself is insecure. So, large majority, I'm here talking maybe 99% people, they want security, but they are investing in that box. They want someone to make them secure. They want different ways, but that precisely makes them more insecure. For example, you invested into another person that this person will make me secure. That exact area where you will feel more insecure. There will be dislike and there will be complaints because broken hearts, because that person behaves differently, you will feel very insecure. You invested into some bank, that bank disappears, it will make you very insecure because you invested into that insecure box. These are the answers in ignorance. When you are not seeing clearly, when it is confusion, you invest in this way. When you are seeing in clarity, you say, security you will get more, you become free from this box. That is the way, and you discover, you play with it for 1 minute, and you will discover that is secure. Now we'll come to some experience again. Is that okay? And And next time we will be speaking other aspects of the foundation. Some areas we have touched, but one very important aspect of our foundation is intellect. And right now, we all have paras intellect. And more we use it, it becomes stronger. We have it, but we need to make it stronger. There can't be anything comparable to this. It is a most precious gift to human race. If you appreciate it, you are the wisest person. Because once you appreciate, you will invest there. You create time to make it stronger. It is like gives you new glasses. So right now, if we use paras, what happens? You are able to see the way God sees. And what else do you need? You are able to see the whole physical world as a grand performance. If it is 100% paras, then there are no questions. Yes, no. No, you feel this is a performance, full stop. Everything that is happening, it is a joke within it. If it is to finish, okay, one episode finishes. You clap. You don't, when it is a performance, there's nothing to complain or nothing to worry. No questions even. Variety of characters. You see it. And nice, we have the option to use 100% Paris from first day, this minute. We all got Paris and we have the option to use it. With this, we are able to see the world beyond the story, beyond this performance. And beyond is the real world. Beyond this story is our sky, our home. True family, we can see all are divine. I mean, this is a Ravan-free region. And that is the biggest luxury. Ravan-free world. Which means there are no idea, no concept of desire, comparison, disappointment. There's no concept of this. 100% innocence and carefree, happy. On a scale that is beyond belief. Such is this region. Ravan-free region means this. There is nothing called provocation. Because the Ravan, seed of Ravan doesn't exist. With full paras, 100% paras, we are seeing the true self. Invisible player is seeing all this. Invisible player is aware of his immortality. He knows nothing can harm him, even the slightest. Fun is everything that he's seeing. He sees it with that attitude. Actually, nothing can harm you. That is what you see. It's more like a presence, and aware of the innate positive nature of this universe. The whole his universe is alaukic. Story is not his universe. That's a film, that is a fiction. And that is also great fiction. But his world, it is 100% positive. All are happy. The universe is safe. No. The civilization is of full love, full respect, greatness, world of God, world with God. All we have done is just use paras, and we are getting this extraordinary lottery, eternal prize. All that happened, perspective changes. World of God, world with God. Worthiness to be loved by God. Worthiness to belong to God. And sense to know God. Just one step and you are getting this whole thing. As we continue on the journey in the sky, on earth, we have the option to stay paras. Patthar is not compulsory. Just because you are coming in the drama, it doesn't mean we need patthar.
Thank you. This godlike intellect, his vision on the soul as well. So what he knows, what he sees, how he sees the soul. It made me think the soul is so much free from any notion of needing. That is such a solid foundation. Not needing anything, anyone to be different. The role is perfect, separate role. And yes, otherwise maybe the ego's mixing is a little bit beggar pleasing, foundation, happiness, security based upon some conditions. But then when that comes to bite, we get shaken. So it's very nice to revise, refresh the godlike intellect. Because when we build on that, it creates such an assurance. And I like this expression, there's no shortcut, we have to go fully. Then it's clear and we can come back to it. So it'd be good to create time for rooms. There are a couple of questions we can come back to after the break. Do you want to suggest a question?
Yes. Very broad question. What they understand by foundation.
Okay. I'll write that in the chat.
And what they feel is the foundation of the spiritual life?
Yeah, there's actually quite a few angles mentioned, so should be a nice discussion. The questions are in the chat, so we'll meet you back in just over 10 minutes. Thank you. Welcome back. So nice to be able to join some of the discussions. And should we have a few moments where we try to experience the feeling when we've found something that we can build on, that we can trust, that there is security, there is a strength. A few moments. Thank you. Be nice if you want to share, highlight anything that was important for you in the discussion or so far. We also have a couple of questions from earlier. But just one thing from here, I was thinking about something that's happened in the UK. It's a building connected. It was in the 50s they discovered they could mix concrete with air and make very wonderful light building material that was cheaper and quick. So they used it, but with the intention it should be used for, say, 3 decades. And it's still being used today, but the problem is it can suddenly collapse because its foundation or its components have got this property where it can very quickly erode and it doesn't show signs of it. And I was thinking it's very tempting to mix foundation if it's going to be quicker, in this case, material cheaper and lighter. But for us, maybe something appears attractive, it makes us feel good immediately. But this aspect, there's no shortcut, is very important because there will be consequences if we mix now, then it can suddenly fail us. So yeah, this felt very relevant. And actually Aristotle wrote something a little connected in my mind. It says the least initial deviation from the truth is multiplied later 1,000-fold. So even if a slight deviation from truth will show. So this practice to reinforce truth, the clear, clean, invisible traveler feels very relevant. So anything you'd like to share, to add? Otherwise, meanwhile, we'll welcome back Prashant. Thank
you. Yes. Thank you. It was so nice to bring these areas. In the Lockic studies also, students are with different personalities. And some like to study just for exam, and some like to study to understand the subject. Just the different personality types. Some can just by heart get an exam, we don't need to understand properly. But we all have ability to work differently. We may have something has worked for us, just get exams, but when it comes here, it is our life, and just getting the right answers, that is not enough. With creating time to understand properly, going deeper, and know why what we are. Do we agree? Some of these aspects. We are underline the word nischay. Nischay is to be fully convinced. The foundation, one important aspect of the foundation. Some basic ideas. Like today we are talking about soul consciousness. If some great scientist comes and says to you, there is no evidence there is a soul, will you have 1% doubt? If you have 1% doubt about this, then it is not possible for you to be soul conscious. If there is that possibility, so if you are doing the 7-day course, at that time itself to find how you can know this properly. How can you put a foundation that is 100% solid, and if it is there, no fraction of doubt within it, then you can go to the next level and become soul conscious. Soul conscious is a big thing. It literally means you are saying all your life what you thought is I is not I. You are that tiny point that we are getting introduced. That is I. That's what you are telling yourself. You're dying to. It is not possible with some vague, some knowledge you heard in lesson 1 and become soul conscious next day. That is not possible. And so this we have to be students who try and go in a little deeper and get the foundation right. This is what will be useful for us. It is not a question of just passing an exam. It is the aspect of to lead a life in a way is something that should help us through the golden age and silver age. So that's why the foundation has to be strong. Yeah, I am happy to we go to the questions.
Okay, so great. Yes, regarding this aspect about time, the comment is that many souls that we have on this planet have come in the last 100 years, about half, I think, since 1974. So they have they have less attachments, but there is still a lot of suffering. Is it just the pain that the old souls are experiencing? Attachment and pain, are they proportionate? If the question's clear.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Pain is 100% proportionate to attachment. So older souls, they have more time here in the Ravan's kingdom. So there are more attachments. They have gone further down the spiral. So more complications in there, or both mind also and body also, and life, more Vinash forces. But new souls, they also are losing power very quickly. So they have come here, but there is innately the souls are weaker also. So they go through Sato, Rajo, Tamo stages quickly, and the atmosphere is heavily Ravan's kingdom that also pulls them down quickly. So it is possible, new and old, they all can have different kinds of problems. Those who are new souls, they get problems. It is easier to fix. And sometimes, say, health problems. You just use some homeopathy, it works for them. For older souls, that will not work. You need some stronger medications.
Yeah, good to get the understanding of the picture. So, this is a specific question. When someone is chosen over you, so someone is preferred over yourself, it feels really bad. What kind of insecurity is it?
Ego, just the whole idea of you and me is based on the story. When you are coming back to the soul, soul is eternally lucky. It is like a wonderland with no one can interfere and need nothing. And it is story. He is not coming in the story with a begging ball that someone can give you something, someone can deny you. That zero feeling will be there. But if ego is there, ego-based life, ego is a beggar, continuously beggar for different things. Sometimes successful beggar, sometimes not so successful beggar, but he's a beggar.
Yeah, that's quite clear. Nice. If all souls are alike, and it was mentioned, have this experience with Paris to be like God, godlike sight, and in reality equal, how come some are weaker? Is that since are souls actually better than others? Is it there's not really equality?
All souls are uh, noble and strong as they get trapped. Just like, say, there are some Olympics champion. He can do so many amazing things. But if he's tied by one rope, he's weak. If he's tied by two ropes, he cannot use his skills. If he's tied with 10 ropes, then he is completely, at the mercy of others. Same happens here. The soul comes in this story, and the story is like a web. If you go into the spiral, it is a web. And more he thinks it is all success. Look at me, this is all mine, and this is mine, and he creates more desires. He creates ego based upon, but he's trapped by 10 ropes. And then definitely there will be weakness, helpless. You know, if he becomes free from this, that is what the method Baba gives. Become free from these ropes and come out of this whole web. Soul consciousness means that you understood and you become 100% free from this web.
Maybe a follow-up to that. Some souls appear to get tied with the ropes comparatively quickly. So are they any less in any way than those who don't get tied as quickly?
Yes, and that means, number wise, Baba does use that word, number wise. Means right now, we older souls, as we said, they are trapped with more ropes. But we all have the option to understand how to come out of this web and be number one in this.
like feeling of a recent discussion that all are wealthy, but the question is how much do you experience it? So all are alike, but how much are we experiencing that? That creates the difference in a way, and the behavior. Yes. Do you use Haras? They're saying is also a type of visualization. But we are all different in the ability to create inner pictures. That's a more of a comment, but anything you want to say?
I might not use the word visualization for paras. And it implies something that is artificial. That visualization is used that way, that word. Whereas paras, you see it, you are experiencing it. There is, it is like a sight with which you are seeing.
Like augmented?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not quite the right word. But so when you use the word see, it's used with the meaning of understand and experience and maybe even feel.
Yeah,
So it's not visual,
feel factor is there.
comprehend, understand, experience. I'd be interested to hear any further comments on that. How to differentiate between seeing as a soul and soul awareness in soul consciousness. I think they might mean seeing the soul, which you were contrasting to soul awareness. But
Yeah, that's why step one, Harry is seeing the soul. We said soul is a guest here, soul is an invisible traveler, and he's seeing the soul. But step two, soul is seeing this world. So perspective comes from the soul. So that is the soul consciousness. Yes, so we have to ask anytime, am I seeing the soul? Or is the soul seeing this world? And soul is not just a label. Soul means one who is not from this world, one who is naturally 100% free from this whole web. That is the soul. So it becomes easy then. Atma Darshan and Atma Smriti. So Smriti has shifted to the soul.
yeah, thank you. That helps. Yeah, great. So no more questions at the moment?
Yes, so let us come back to our simple practices. And whatever sketches that help you, they are good to keep them around if they help you in the experience. And we don't have to go through, we have the option to go for the best intellect. And there is more we use it, it becomes stronger. So that is easy effort. With this, we are seeing our supreme sky. And the family and the life with God. We are seeing the immortality of everyone. That this world, there is no concept of need. No one needs anything for their existence. That's why this ignorant of the word desire is natural. And if there are no desires, there are no disappointments. This is also the world. World itself is beyond harm. Not the slightest harm can come to anyone. Such is this world. That's why we called it positive universe. And far away there is a story. Any story is harmless. Story means harmless. Many things happen in the story. In the story, there are dragons and there are villains, and many things happen. But it doesn't harm anyone. There are fires and floods, wars. That changes the game so much. Patthar cannot understand this. Patthar is seriously affected by the story. He lives in the story. Both Patthar creates attachments in the story and also suffers. Ego is the result of this Patthar. Ego is created in the story. That's why huge gift this Paras. All you've done is use Paras and you are seeing the whole story is a fun. Fire is also, without exaggeration, another special effect, special. Fog is another effect. For the one who is conscious, he is seeing it like that. There is no thing called death. The episodes begin, episodes end, but he knows the world of immortality. He knows everyone is safe, everyone is beyond harm, everyone is noble. Stronger the paras, deeper are his experiences. Means it is not a little bit of stress, little bit of worry, not 1% worry. If it is 100% paras, there is zero complaints. 100% accept the story as it comes. And it's a good story. In Golden Age, we see Golden Age plots. In Iron Age, we see Iron Age plots. But they are story plots. Story is meant to be variety episodes. it doesn't change the real world. And real world is divine and alokik and eternal and godly, positive. World of God, world with God. As we go through the rest of the day, we have the option to make this natural. Life will continue, but let us see the next 24 hours with this perspective. Can we experiment with 100% paras and 100% soul perspective? Ego is not compulsory. Thank you.
Thank you. This is a kind of hobby homework then for the next 24 hours to use paras and celebrate the moments that we see and experience, feel it, and build on it. So we'll finish with a drill from Madhavan, and we'll meet again tomorrow. Any other questions, we'll bring them in tomorrow's session. Thank you all so much.